Since their introduction in 2016, these white earbuds have become a fixture of daily life. You'll see them worn by people on the street, and these days, any pundit on cable TV. And now they've gotten a much needed follow-up. Yep, the AirPods Generation 3 are here. And of course, they're better than ever. But does that mean you should go out and buy one? Hi, I'm MICHAELJOSH, your gadget matchmaker, and I'm here to help you find the right earbuds for you. This is our AirPods Gen 3 unboxing and review. Very quickly, let's unbox these babies. First up, designed by Apple in California packet, with a quick start guide, some paperwork, more paperwork, and nope, no stickers. Next, the AirPods Gen 3 all wrapped up. Let's peel this off. Nice and shiny. This is the only time it's going to look this pristine. And finally, this green arrow means we should pull. Underneath, we've got a USB-C to Lightning cable. By the way, the case shape is more like the AirPods Pro, and just in case you're wondering, here's a comparison for you. Here are the AirPods Gen 2, here are the AirPods Gen 3, and here are the AirPods Pro. So while they're similarly shaped, the AirPods Gen 3 aren't as big as the Pros. Finally, before we move on, pairing is oh so simple. Just open the case and you get this prompt on your iPhone. One tap is all you need to pair them. And if you own multiple Apple devices, you only need to do this once. All your devices will recognize your new AirPods. Because it rolls off the tongue easier, and because this video also refers to the older models, I will call these guys the new AirPods, or AirPods 3. But officially, they're the third generation AirPods, a follow-up to the OG ones, which were launched in 2016, and the slightly updated version that was released in 2019. This is a big update, and there's a lot to unpack. So let's start with its all-new design. The most obvious change is the size of that stem. Thank God, because it's 33% shorter than what it used to be. About the same height as the AirPods Pro, which is great, so they don't stand out when worn. Built into the stem, this capsule-shaped cavity over here is a force sensor, which you can actually pinch to access controls. Once to play, pause, or answer a call, twice to skip forward, thrice to skip back, and a pinch and hold to invoke Siri. The shape of the head is much improved too, designed to fit an even wider array of ear shapes. While the Pro model has silicone tips that conform to the shape of your ears, the non-Pro AirPods are a one-size-fits-all kind of earbud. And while each ear is different, these ones fit me so much better than the old ones. The second-gen AirPods fit quite loosely, so much so that I was afraid to run with them in fear that they might fall off quite easily. The new third-gen AirPods fit more snugly in my ears. I've taken them on runs, I've even taken them on bike rides, which here in Brooklyn can be quite bumpy. And in both cases, they stayed on just great. Oh, and speaking of runs, just in case you get sweaty, you don't have to worry. These new buds come with an IPX4 rating, so they will be fine with sweat, the rain, or a quick rinse. Of course, the biggest changes are those that are inside. New custom drivers were built for this open ear design, so when you're listening to music, you'll notice bass has more oomph to it. There's also more clarity, especially in the higher notes. Of course, good sounding headphones works both ways. You want the music that you're listening to sound great, but you also want the person on the other end of a FaceTime call, for example, to also hear you clearly. And the best way to kind of capture that is a recording like this one. I'm using my iMac with a professional camera, but also the microphone on my third generation AirPods. How do I sound? Let me know in the comments section below. Now for context, this recording is using the same setup, but I've switched over to my AirPods Pro. Do they sound any better than the third generation AirPods? I'm curious, I'll find out as soon as I preview this clip. But before that, one more final recording using the second generation AirPods. Notice the longer stem over here. Hopefully, these don't sound as good as the new generation earbuds, but you be the judge. I'm curious to hear what you think. Now, after listening to those recordings, I don't know if those samples really do it justice, but last week I was on my patio talking to my therapist, and he says I sounded really good. And that's thanks to this new foam shield that keeps the mic protected from wind, as well as inward-facing mics like on the AirPods Pro. Now, one feature that's on the Gen 3 but are not on the Pros is a built-in skin sensor. You know how when you take the Pros off and maybe you throw them on your sheets and music still keeps playing through your AirPods even if you've taken them off? That's because the AirPods think that they're still inside your ears. Now, with the new skin sensor, if you're like me and you throw them in your pockets instead of the case, it will know because it's no longer in contact with your skin, i.e. not in your ears, so they will stop working. Now, some improvements go beyond hardware. Apple uses a lot of artificial intelligence to improve the listening experience. They call it computational audio. One such feature is called adaptive EQ, which figures out the geometry of your ears and adjusts the sound so it's optimized for your ear shape, basically. The other is called spatial audio. You know how for surround sound you need a complicated speaker setup? Well, with these new AirPods, as well as the Pro and the Max, you can get a surround sound experience. As long as you're listening to Dolby Atmos music, or watching a movie with 5.1 or 7.1 surround sound, it will feel like you have that complicated setup in your ears. And when it comes to Apple devices, it will even know where the audio is coming from, whether that be your iPhone or your iPad. So if you turn your head, dynamic head tracking will remember where your screen is, so it will feel like the sound is still coming from that one direction. It's really hard to describe, but I remember the first time I tried this last year with the AirPods Pro, or was it the AirPods Max? But I just remember watching and having to double take because I was like, do I have the device on? Because I can really hear the sound coming out of the iPad, and then I realized it was really just tricking my senses in a good way. Let me just put it this way. If you own an Apple device, the AirPods are definitely a great companion for consuming both music and videos. Now let's talk about battery life and charging. Apple promises 5 to 6 hours of battery life if you're listening to music. In my week with the AirPods 3, I was getting about 5 hours on average, and that would often include about an hour's worth of FaceTime calls, which is even more intensive and more draining on your battery. The case is supposed to provide 24 to 30 extra hours, meaning you should be able to fully charge them about 4 times over. They charge quick too. While inside the case, an empty pair of AirPods will get to 33% in 5 minutes. Speaking of, let's talk about this case for a sec. With the arrival of the 3rd Gen AirPods, Apple is bringing MagSafe to AirPods cases, meaning apart from being able to wirelessly charge, this case has magnets built in so they stick to a MagSafe charger, which helps if you have one attached to a stand like this one from this video's sponsor, ELAGO. If you already have Apple's MagSafe charger, this puck over here, these stands from ELAGO are a great accessory to make this charger even more user-friendly. You can't go wrong with this classic aluminum charging stand in silver, which will leave your desk looking sleek. This retails for $27.99. I also like this MS2 charging stand in Jean Indigo. Made of premium silicone, it's got a rounded body and is at a slight angle so that you can keep track of what's on your screen while you charge. AirPods with the MagSafe case sit nicely on it too. Finally, for a more fun and affordable option, I also like this charging pad in red, which gives my MagSafe charger a nice pop of color. This one is just $12.99 a pop and comes in a variety of other colors. Now, if you own an Apple Watch and want a charging hub for your nightstand, ELAGO makes these. The MagSafe Charging Hub Trio 1 has a spot for your MagSafe puck so that you can charge your iPhone. Your lightning cable goes here so that you can charge your AirPods. And there's also space for your Apple Watch charger so that you can rest your watch right here. The Trio 2 offers the same options, but the MagSafe charger is elevated and is on an incline. By the way, if you've noticed all the cool and quirky AirPods cases in this video, those are from ELAGO also. My favorites include this glow-in-the-dark one, this leather backpack, But my faves among the faves, this retro Macintosh classic and this Game Boy. I do love a great retro throwback. Now, if you want to shop these products, and I highly recommend that you do, I'll put links to all of them down below. You should also visit elago.com. If you think these products are cool, you should check out their entire portfolio that includes silicone cases for all sorts of Apple products, including Apple TV remotes and Apple Pencils. A bit more on these MagSafe charging cases. The whole point is so that the charging coils on the case and the charger are aligned. So for example, they'll stick right in the middle of this charging puck or right smack in the middle of this MagSafe battery pack. I point this out because the magnets are not intended to have the same pull or hold as, say, any other MagSafe accessory. So they will fall off if you shake them too hard. Speaking of charging, this case supports any Qi compatible charger. Just remember, wireless charging is slow, and if you need a faster top-up, you can always use the Lightning port. By the way, Apple also quietly updated the AirPods Pro, so if you buy them today, they will also come with a MagSafe charging case. Now, this next new feature isn't unique to the AirPods 3, but it's a new feature nonetheless that just rolled out as part of iOS 15. It's called Enhanced Find My, which means you can now use the Find My app to track down your missing AirPods, whether they're in the case or not. So if you're home and you've misplaced them, just hop into the Find My app, tap on Devices and AirPods, and either play a sound so they start beeping, or Find Nearby, which uses the same hot or cold, you're getting close system which we first saw on AirTags. Also, you can ring both your right and your left AirPod separately. If you've already bought into the Apple ecosystem and own a lot of Apple products, then you definitely need AirPods because it just works seamlessly together. For example, I might be listening to music on my couch, and then when I move to my office for work, my iMac will be like, hey, wanna switch over? Or I could be in bed and don't want to bother my make-believe partner who's asleep. With Apple TV, I can easily switch to my AirPods and listen without disturbing anyone. Or on my runs, because I have an LTE Apple Watch, I can just press here to connect to listen to streaming music on the go. Now it's time for some buying advice. Right now, Apple sells the AirPods Gen 2, these new AirPods Gen 3, AirPods Pro, and AirPods Max. When they were first announced, the AirPods 2 retailed for $199 with a wireless charging case, or $159 with a regular case. Well, Apple is keeping just the regular case version alive at a reduced price of $129. The wireless charging case is an optional $79 purchase. If you're an Apple user and don't want to spend a lot of money and just want some AirPods, these are still a great choice. Just make sure that they fit you well. If you can, however, spend a little bit more, I recommend that you go for the new AirPods Gen 3. They're just $50 extra and come with all the great features that we've covered in this video. I think the AirPods Gen 3 are the AirPods for most people. They fit great and sound great. In fact, I might just switch from the AirPods Pro to the AirPods Gen 3 for everyday use. You see, I prefer this open ear design versus transparency mode when I'm out running or biking. That way, I can still hear the world around me and be more aware of traffic. Don't get me wrong, I still love the AirPods Pro. They're still my go-to whenever I'm on a plane or whenever I need some active noise cancellation. And I recommend these if you want the best fit. Finally, at over $500, there are the AirPods Max. Only get these if over-ear headphones are more your thing and you want the best audio quality. They are quite pricey, but worth every penny. Over-ears provide the best seal for noise cancellation, and because of its size alone, there's more space for the best kind of hardware that ensures the highest quality sound. But you have to be willing to spend, and you also need to be the type who likes to wear cans. I personally prefer these guys because they're smaller and easier to take with me. So, are the AirPods Gen 3 your gadget match? Like I said earlier, I definitely believe that these are the AirPods most people should go out and buy. And I think these generations upgrades are significant to attract both those looking to upgrade and those looking to get their first one. Unless you have ears that require a custom fit, and I know a lot of people who do, and unless you're in the market for some noise-canceling earbuds, then the AirPods Gen 3 are definitely ones to consider. And for that, they come highly recommended with the GadgetMatch seal of approval. And that was our AirPods Gen 3 unboxing and review. If you have more questions, just leave them for me in the comment section below. It's gonna be a busy weekend and we have a lot of videos coming your way. You don't want to miss a single one. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that bell icon too so that you get notified as soon as we upload. I post a lot of stuff on social media. You definitely don't want to miss that, so follow me there too. And for news and updates, make GadgetMatch.com your daily habit. Until the next video, I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.